I'm so scared of falling down. I just won't climb in the first place.
Hi my loves, so it is 11:30 on April 2nd, which means Raedathon starts in half an hour and I am ready to go. I have fuel in the form of a Monster Energy drink. I have books taller than me and an ambition to get through this 24-hour readathon having read something. So the plan is to start with The Beautiful by Raedathon. So I am already reading this. I am 302 pages in. So I've got about 200 pages left. So I'm hoping to finish this in the first couple of hours of the readathon. And then I'm going to get into what I actually want to do, which is read a couple of Jade's favourite books, because it seems only fitting that I read her books for her readathon. So I have Nevermore, I'll put a picture here, by Jessica Townsend, I believe, and I have this on Kindle. I bought it on Kindle, so I hope to read that as well. And I will put a video here of Jade recommending this series to everyone. And yeah, so she explains it better than I do, so I'll let Jade explain it.
Nevermore, I think, is one of those middle grade series where even if you're not a fan of middle grade, you tend to love Nevermore. I completely recommend this to probably absolutely anybody. But this story follows the story of a young girl called Morrigan Crow, who is a cursed child destined to die on the eve of her 11th birthday. However, when that rolls around, she is swept off her feet by a man called Jupiter North, very eccentric, who takes her to the wondrous land of Nevermore, where she has to compete in some trials to earn her life and her place in the wondrous society. It is whimsical, it is so well written.
The next book that I would like to pick up is one by an author that as soon as I hear their name, I just think of Jade, and that is Sebastian de
My
Castell.
absolute all-time favourites. Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. Wouldn't be a me list of faves if I didn't have Sebastian de Castell on here. Similarly to Miss Schwab, like, they're both going to make appearances, this is me. But this world is amazing, and after reading The Way of the Argosy recently as well, I love it so much. It's so expansive. We have seen so much of this continent, but there are certain things that lead me to believe that this world is bigger than we know.
I bought the audiobook from Audible with a credit, so I have an audiobook, 200 pages of a book that I am currently reading, and Nevermore to get through. And if by some miracle I end up getting through all that, then I will look and find something else that I would like to read that Jade has put on her favourites list, but I think my TBR is ambitious enough. So I will bring you along with me and let's see how much reading I can get done. I am so looking forward to this, so yeah. I will see you when the clock strikes midnight.
Pack up my summer in a Ziploc bag. Old maps and tchotchkes, photographs of this and that. I'll write myself a letter so that I'll remember all. What if I don't hold on to this red string? Can't retrace my old steps, the songs I used to sing.
Hi. So it is 5 o'clock in the morning and I'm getting sleepy. So I was meant to have a nap today, but I didn't. So now I'm getting tired, but I did just finish my first book. Fair enough, I was already reading it, but I finished this book and I popped it through Copile and it came out at a 3-star. So I gave 8 for characters, 6 for atmosphere, 7 for writing, 7 for plot, 7 for intrigue, 6 for logic, and 7 for enjoyment. And it came to a total of 6.86, which is a 3-star. So I did like this book. I liked certain aspects. I liked the murder mystery kind of aspect to it, and I liked some of the characters. I did not like the romance. I felt like they'd known each other for like 5 minutes, had like a couple of conversations, and then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, I'm gonna betray my uncle for you. And it was just, yeah, I wasn't here for the romance. And the reveal at the end felt pretty anticlimactic. Like, I wasn't right when I said, like, I had previously said on an Instagram video that I had predictions, and my predictions were not right, so I didn't predict who it was, but it was just like, oh yeah, you. And it felt like it wasn't that great of a reveal. I know that there's a sequel. There's The Damned, which is the sequel to this, because I think it's just a duology. And I don't know, I think I would pick up the sequel just to say that I read the duology, but this was just a middle of the road read for me, which is kind of shitty, but I'm fine with it. It was worth a read. So yeah, I just read this, and I think that means that my page count should be up to 123. I'll put it on the screen if I'm right, but that means I've read 123 pages so far, and now I am going to relax, and I think I'm going to listen to the audiobook of Spellslinger, because I can finally get to the portion of this video where I read like Jade, because I just came off the Instagram live with Jade and Gav, and it was so much fun, and I just feel like it's so fitting to read some of her favourite books in this vlog for her readathon. And yeah, I am really looking forward to it. No, lighting. I'm really looking forward to it, and yeah, I will check back in if I am still alive.
I'll eat my breadcrumbs. How will I know who I was? Call me the sentimental type, nostalgic, but I have to prove that I was here. What if I forget that I was here? I can't forget that I was here. I was here. Boxes on boxes you'd call worthless stuff, but I get a glow each time I go open it up. If memory's a treasure, trying to be a billionaire. I fear I'd fall apart to lose the things that form my heart, that prove that I was here. What if I forget that?
Hi, so I am just checking in because it's been a minute. So I had a quick nap, and then I woke up around 10 to 9, and I got myself some McDonald's breakfast. I had a bath, I did a face mask, and I have made myself a bit more presentable. And while I've been doing this all, I've been listening to Spellslinger by Sebastian de Gastel. This book is about Kellen and his family. So his family, he comes from a magic bloodline, a very powerful magic bloodline, and there's two things that you can be. Jan Temp is someone who wields magic, and Shan Temp is someone that doesn't have the ability to wield magic. And at the start of the story, it really feels like Kellyanne won't have any powers, but we're starting to get into it now. And I just have to say, if you haven't read this book, then maybe you should skip forward in this video, because I will be giving mild spoilers throughout. So I am really enjoying it. I enjoy the characters, the writing's great, the plot. I was a little bit confused to start off with because I don't normally listen to fantasy on audiobook. I normally only read it physically, but I made an exception this time. So I do like the narrator. The narrator's doing a really good job, so that is what's keeping me interested. I am at the part where Kellyanne and Charlotte, his sister, go to call a familiar, and things go horribly wrong. But we've just finished that part, and then when I've forgotten the creature, but it's like a wild-cat. When that comes and gets caught, it gets like kept held captive. But Kellyanne stumbles upon um three of his friends doing blood magic on the animal and sets the animal free. The animal comes back, and Kellyanne can talk to the animal, and I love it because I'm like, oh, he's got something. He's got something. And then he has just went to his parents. Farius had been helping him cover up what happened with the Wildcats, and I love her character. The narrator, for whoever narrates her, just like, I don't think I could have pictured that voice in my mind if I was reading it, which is a good side of the audiobook because it's gave her character like new depth for me personally. I this is just a rambling of what I'm thinking, but yeah, it's so good. Like, I understand why Jade loves it. The magic system is so intriguing, and the story is getting built so well. The banter that is in this book is great. Um, like the dry wit and attitude really works well with the writing style, and yeah, I'm really having a good time with it. I was a bit worried because I was scared in case I wasn't gonna like it, but so far so good. I am about halfway through the audiobook, so I have 5 hours left, but I'm listening to it on 1.3 speed, so it'll probably be like 4 maybe. Um, and then I will finish that tonight. I'm mostly listening to it when I'm doing other things where I can't physically sit and read, but soon as I can sit and read, I'm going to pick up Nevermore, which is another one of Jade's favourite books. So I really hope I can get to that. It is looking good. It is 4:25, so it's not that late. I just have to make some dinner and do some house chores like the washing and stuff. So I will probably get that done while I finish off the rest of Spellslinger, and then I will chill and start Nevermore. I'm really having a lot of fun with this readathon. I just, I'm so glad that I get to take part in doing the challenges on BookTube now. So, yeah, I will put my page count here at the bottom because I don't know it. I'll have to convert the audio to like number of pages, so I will put that down here, and then I will come back once I have read some more and let you know where I am.
Gold, iron. What are the metal inks used to tattoo the bands on Jan's initiates as children to connect us with the fundamental forces of magic? But when I looked down at the band for Ember, I saw the reverse sigils burning there, dark and ugly, forever severing my connection to the magic of fire, of lightning, of energy. Father, please, stop! Don't counterban me! When a child is banded, it's done with only the...
Hi, so I just finished Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell, and I gave it a 4 stars. I put it through Copile, and it got a 9 on characters, an 8 on atmosphere, a 9 on writing, a 8 on plot, a 7 on intrigue, a 7 on logic, and an 8 on enjoyment. So it came up to an 8, which equals a 4 star, which I'm okay with. I really enjoyed myself. I have some notes that I wanted to say about this book. So, first off, the characters, most of them were really great, but the standouts for me was Regis and Farius because I would follow them in like one of their own books because they were just standout characters for me. The atmosphere was strong because the world was being built because this is part of a series. This was the setup of the world and the magic system, so the atmosphere was definitely there along the plot line and the world building. The writing was great. I loved the writing. I would pick up another book by this author based on the writing of a Spellslinger because there's like humor and banter and kind of like witty inner monologues that I really like. So I would definitely pick up another book by this author. The plot was really good. So I think for me, there was a miscommunication because I listened to this on audiobook and I normally don't listen to fantasies on audiobook. So I think if I were to pick this book up physically, then I would have gave it a higher 4-star rating. But because I listened to this on audio, I think that I kind of messed up because I am not a huge fan of fantasy in the format of an audiobook. But apart from all of that, that is a personal thing. I really did enjoy the book, and if I do pick up the sequels, which I am interested in, but I need to get my current series that I'm reading down to a reasonable number before I add any more book series onto this list. I need to read some of the ones that I have already started. So I am interested in picking these up, but I would pick them up physically and not in audiobook format. Although I would like to look up the narrator because I would listen to a book that he's narrated again, as I liked him as a narrator. I just can't listen to fantasy on audiobook because it doesn't sink in. But either way, I finished that book. Now, there's only 2 hours left of the readathon, so I am not going to be able to read Nevermore. But I am thinking about reading it anyway. I will come back to you.
I was here. I can't forget that I was here. I was here. Ooh. Ooh. Someday all the people that I love will move on. Someday all the places that I love will be.
Hi, so I am just popping in to tell you that I am 26% of the way through Nevermore, and I'm so glad that I made this weekend vlog instead of just vlogging for one day because I am loving this book. I love Morrigan and I love Jupiter and the world Nevermore. We've just reached Nevermore, and she's getting introduced to the people there, and it's so good. So like there is a vampire dwarf in this book, and I don't know. I've never heard of a vampire dwarf, but now I need a book with a vampire dwarf. And this vampire dwarf is too moody to be around other vampires. So I need a book on that. That would be great. There's also a cat in it called Finestra, and she is the housekeeper of the hotel, and I need a book of this house cat. Like, yes, please. Can I have a house cat? Is this something I can purchase? Yes, I could have a normal pet cat, but can I have one that does the housekeeping and talks? Like, is this a feasible thing? And if so, I'm first in line to buy it. But yeah, I am just popping in to say that I am really enjoying Nevermore, and I'm so glad that I picked this up for this reading vlog. And yeah, I will see you soon. Hi, so I am here to wrap up this vlog. So I want to go through just what I got done over the weekend and what I got done during the Raedathon. So to start the Raedathon off, I finished The Beautiful by Raedathon, and I had 123 pages left, so I finished that. I gave it 3 stars. I'm not going to pick up the sequel. I actually think I'm probably going to unhaul The Beautiful. I just didn't enjoy it enough to continue, so I think I am going to get rid of the book and not continue. But if you want something that is historical fiction with vampires and slight humans with like something that you don't really find out um in a murder mystery plotline, then I would recommend this. But for me, it was just a middle of the road read, and I don't feel like picking up the sequel. So then I spent the remainder of the time for the Raedathon reading Spellslinger, and I listened to this on audiobook. I gave this 4 stars. I wish I read it in physical format instead of reading it, listening to it in audiobook. I think I would have enjoyed it a lot more. I am interested in continuing the series, but I am not going to rush into it because a 6-book series is a big commitment, and I need to finish some of the series that I've already started before I commit to another 6-book series. But this is one that is on my list for I will revisit because I was intrigued by the magic system, by the characters. I was very intrigued by the world. I liked the writing, but if I continued this series, I would continue it in physical format instead of listening to it on an audiobook. So I had 2 hours left of the Raedathon, and I wasn't going to do it, but then I thought because I'm doing reading like Jade, I thought I had to add another book in, and I picked up Nevermore, and I read Nevermore over the course of Sunday, which means this turned into a weekend reading vlog instead of a 24-hour reading vlog, but it's fine because I managed to get Nevermore in and I absolutely adored it. I have popped it through Copile and it got a 9 for characters, a 9 for atmosphere, a 9 for writing. It got a 9 for plot, an 8 for intrigue, a 9 for logic, and a 10 for enjoyment. So it did come out at a 9, which is like a low 5 stars, but still really good read. I loved the characters. There was Morrigan, Jupiter, there was Hawthorne and Jack, the house cat, the housekeeper cat, the dwarf vampire. There was so much in this story. There was fairies and witches and trials and tests, and it was just so good. Like, I had a ball reading this. I will be picking up the other 2 books, and I am going to pick this one up as well because I would read these really quickly and I had so much fun reading them, and I would like to return to the world and the characters and see what happens to Morgan and all the rest of them. So I probably will be picking up that trilogy throughout the year, maybe, because they're quick middle grade reads, very whimsical, very magical. All the adjectives, just all the positive adjectives, just describe this book. There's something for everyone, I think, and I am really glad that I picked this up on Jade's recommendation. So that is it. I will leave a page number, the amount of pages I read this weekend, at the bottom here. I will leave Jade in the link down below. You probably already know her, but credit where credit is due. This was a really fun readathon. And yeah, I can't wait to participate in another one, and hopefully I can make another video for it. So have a nice day. I hope you stay safe, and bye.
Hold my head under, let me drown. Because I'm empty space and I